Good, good, good. You may be seated. It is my absolute privilege and honor to tell you that I live only 25 minutes from here. I live in Moore Park. I love this area. We go to the beach here just down the road quite a lot. I have a beautiful, beautiful boy. He's 20 months old, and he's already my height. And my wife, she's half Japanese, half Mexican, so she's Japsican. And she's absolutely amazing. If you're standing there, you're probably blocking someone, so if you could sit down, please, or come off the rails, that would be great. The guy in the red hat. The coach. You the coach? Cool. Hi, I love you. Just want to make sure that you're not blocking anyone, so please take a seat. I know how it feels to be standing up for quite a while, and then you can't feel your legs, all right? I'm 31 years old. I know I'm pretty short for my age. I just want to tell you all that I love you, and I really hope that you are encouraged with this next message. I always open up with a couple funny stories. You know, when kids see me for the first time, they freak out a little bit, and they're like, "What happened?" And I go up to them and I say, "Cigarettes." And freak them out, right? I love it. I love freaking adults out as well. Like one day I was on the beach and I had my foot underneath the sand and I'm just sitting there. And this woman comes up with her dog and she says, "Wow, that's amazing," in the sand. And I'm thinking, oh, wait a second. She's thinking I got my hands inside my shirt and my legs in the sand. So I said, "A very, very long time." We talked a little bit. She said goodbye. She walked away. I waited for her to look back. She finally looks back, and I just start jumping like this. She's like, "Wow, dude." The funniest story of all, one day I was in the front seat of the car, and we're at the traffic lights, and this car comes up next to us, and this girl's looking at me. So I'm looking at her. She's looking at me. I'm looking at her. She's looking at me. I'm looking at her. And all she sees is my head from the side. So just imagine, all you see is my head. I just did this. And she's like, I love it, love it. Excuse me, sir, can you sit down, please? Thank you. So in my life, there were many times in my life where I realized I had a choice. Everyone say, "I have a choice." We all have a choice either to be angry for what we don't have or be thankful for what we do have. So you see my little foot? I love my little foot. I got 2 toes. Peace, how you doing? And I can actually type 43 words a minute on a normal computer, and after 2 cups of coffee, 53 words a minute. I love my little foot. I don't know who likes soccer here, but I love soccer. And one day I was on the field with my friend, and he's getting ready to kick it to me. So he says, "Are you ready?" And I'm like freaking out. My knees were shaking. And I said, "Yes!" And he goes, like this. And the ball's coming right for me, like a missile. Do you understand me? Like this thing's coming for me, and I'm like, "Ah!" Right? And I don't know what to do. You know when something's coming for you, and it doesn't matter where you go and what you do, you're dead? Yeah? I had that feeling. So this ball's coming for me. Now, have you seen The Matrix? Okay, y'all, it's real. Do you understand? It's real. All of a sudden, everything went slow motion, and I jumped up in the air in slow motion, and I did a karate kick, and I went, like this. The ball came, hit my foot, bent it backwards, and I heard a and my little foot went, "Oh." For 3 weeks, I couldn't walk. It was ridiculous. It was like as if I was disabled or something. And I had to walk with my foot in the air like this. Like, what's up with that, right? But I realized something pretty early on in my life is knowing that everyone is different and it's okay for me to be me. It was hard, though, to come to that truth. I went to school, and, you know, my mom and dad would get me ready in the morning. They'd be brushing my teeth and all that stuff. And they're like, "Okay, Nick, are you ready for school?" And I'm like, "Yes, Mommy." "Now you're going to do good, right?" "Yes, Mommy." "Now don't worry about what anyone else says. You're just special." And I'm like, "You're just special." And I'm like, I didn't want to be special. And then, I'd go really happily to school, because I'm happy, right? And I go to school, and then it only takes one person to look at me weird, one person to laugh at me, one person to call me some sort of name. And I want you to know that none of us are protected from other people's judgments. You can't control others. You can't always control what happened to you. This was not my choice. If I had a choice to be born again in this world with or without arms and legs, if you asked me as a kid, I would say, I want arms and legs now. Why? Because I felt like if I could just have arms and legs, then I will be what? Happy. And when I went to school, I looked at everyone else and they had more than me and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. And I started being asked by everyone, like, hey, what do you want to be when you what? Grow up. So I'm like, I don't know. What am I going to be? Like a cop? Like if I'm trying to like arrest someone, they're going to have to put their own handcuffs on. You understand me? Like I'm not going to be a cop. I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm not going to be this, not going to be that. And I want you to know that in your life you have that choice to either believe the truth or believe the lies. But here's the thing for you today. If you don't know the truth, then how are you going to know what a lie is? You see, here's this book. And this book represents 2014. Do you understand? This is now. This is present tense. When I was back as an 8-year-old kid in 1990, I never thought that I would ever be happy. I started having this huge list of all the things that I don't have and won't have. And I'm thinking, hey, wait a second. I'm not going to get married. Who's going to want to marry me? I can't even get a job. I can't even look after myself. I'm just going to be dependent on my parents. Even if I got married, I can't even dance with my bride on our wedding night. Even if I had a girlfriend, I can't even hold her hand. Even if we had kids, you can't even hold your kids when they're crying. Nick, just give up. You see, these lies, they take you away from the truth. Some people think that their past determines their future. It's not true, only if you let it. For me, in my limited thinking and only seeing what I saw, I started losing hope. Everyone say hope. Hope is everything. And sometimes you can't see it, but it doesn't mean it's not there. How many feet do I have? Put your hand up if you think I have 1 foot. Go. Put your hand down. Put your hand up if you think I have 2. Put your hand down. What about the rest of you? What happened? 3? You guys think I got 3? Or 4? How many truths are there? 1. The truth is, I don't have 1 foot only. The truth is, I don't have 3 or 4. The truth is in life that if you only believe what you see, you're gonna miss out. I have 2 feet. I got this little one right here, little chiquitita, little one here, right? I love my little foot here, but no one sees it. Sometimes it's like hope, like future. You can't see it, but it doesn't mean it's not coming. You see, you don't know what is around the corner until you go around the corner. And I'm not saying that I'm suffering more than you. I want you to know right here, right now, if you're in a broken home, that's worse than having no arms and no legs. You can have arms and legs, but be crippled on the inside with fear. Fear of the future, fear what people think of you, fear of never becoming someone you wish you could be. And we look at ourselves, oh, well, I wish I was taller, I wish I was shorter, I wish I was more pretty, I wish I was more popular. And we try to change things, we start using the F word because it's just cool to swear. Guys walking down, with their big biceps, they think they need big biceps to be cool. Man, my biceps were so big they fell off, you understand me? Let me ask you, do you think I'm cool enough to be your friend? But I have no arms and legs. So you're still going to be my friend? You know what that means? You actually don't care that I have no arms, no legs. You want to be my friend because of who I am. Now watch this. I could be in the same body but a different personality. And if I'm an angry guy and I see you down the street and I just hate everyone, including you, and headbutt you in the face every time I see you, will you be my friend? No. All of a sudden, you're not my friend, not because of how I look, but it's who I am. So does it really matter how you look? Then why do we kill each other with words and gossip and judge and divide about how we look if it actually doesn't matter? Who was the last person you teased, or who was the last person you gossiped about? Okay, ready? Ready? Okay, ready? Everyone say ready? All right. How many of those people, out of the last 5 people you've teased, out of the last 5 people you've gossiped about, how many of those, which one of those 5 people are being sexually abused at home? Now that's bullying right there. I want you to understand something. We're talking about life and death. I want you to understand that culturally, we feel that it's okay to tease, it's okay to call out names or this or that. But I want you to understand that in your life, what you do and how you live your life and what you say and how you say it does affect people. And I want you to know, in my life, my bullies did not believe that I would ever think of committing suicide. Well, I did, without them knowing. At age 8, I thought of committing suicide. And at age 10, I tried to commit suicide. After a day at school of all the bullying, I went home and I said, that's it, I'm done, I'm through, I'm going to give up. I rolled over in my bathtub 3 times trying to work out how much air I hold in my lungs before I let it out and then let the water in. And the 3rd time I rolled over, I was stopped by one thought, and the thought was seeing my mum and my dad in my mind crying at my grave, and my younger brother asking what's going on. I didn't want to leave them with that pain because they did nothing but love me. I want you to know I wanted a miracle. I wanted arms and legs because I thought it would make me happy, but arms and legs don't give you much. They'll just give you arthritis later on anyway. For me in my life, I needed to come to the truth and be free in the truth. You're ugly. No, I'm not. I'm wonderfully and fearfully made. Yeah, I look a little different, but man, when my dad saw me for the first time, he went to my mom and he said, he's beautiful. Why? Because my dad knew that I wasn't a mistake. My mom couldn't hold me. My mom couldn't touch me. My mom couldn't see me. My mom, for many, many days, would not see me. 4 months before my mom held me. But my dad said he's beautiful. Why? Because I know he knows that I'm not a mistake. I'm just packaged a little differently. And I don't need to be like anyone else. And you don't need to be like anyone else. Girls, you're beautiful just the way that you are. You don't need a boyfriend to feel loved. That's the biggest thing we want. We want to feel loved. We can't even love ourselves, so we look for the affirmation of people around us. So we change what we do. Yeah, we look at pornography because it's cool and it's okay. And we get drunk every Saturday because, that's okay. Everyone else is doing it. And, everyone's sleeping with everyone. And the average relationship in a high school is about 2 weeks, 3 days and 48 seconds. And I had a relationship before I met my wife, and I want you to know that I chose to keep my virginity for my bride. When she says, in sickness or in health, till death do us part, I want to be the mother of your children, Nick. That's the one I want to share my virginity with, so I can look at my son in his eyes when he's of age, and I say, I waited for your mother. It's so easy to get convoluted in what love is. I've seen so many girls who stay with emotionally controlling boyfriends and abusive boyfriends, and they refuse to dump him because they are convinced that there's nothing else better than an abusive boyfriend coming. Like, this is it. I can't get any better. Yeah, guess what, girls? You won't get anyone better until you dump him. You girls got to understand, you got to give yourself a chance. You're beautiful. I don't care about how you look, guys. I don't care if you think you need to be tough. I asked you what I would have to do to be cool for you and not cool for you. But let me tell you right now, I love every single one of you. And I'm sorry if you have an alcoholic father. At least you know what not to do with your own kids. I'm sorry if you have been abused. I'm sorry if the things in your life suck. But I want you to know that even when you don't get a miracle, you can still be a miracle for someone else. And the only one thing that would disqualify you from being my friend and having the respect that I want to give you is if you disrespect any of my brothers and sisters here. If you disrespect my brother and sister, you don't have my respect. You know, our parents said, if you don't have anything nice to say, then what? Don't say anything at all. Why would you want to be part of someone's reason to give up? Turn around and take one step at a time. Find something else to do. Know that no matter what happens in you and in your life, just take one day at a time. Don't give up. Be courageous. What's courage? Let me show you. I'm going to jump off the table, do a backflip, and land on the stage, on the floor. Okay, ready? Are you all ready? Girls, are you ready? No. Boys, are you ready? Sparta! All right. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm joking, man. Are you serious? If I do that, I'll break my arm or something, all right? But sometimes you fall down like this. So what do you do when you fall down? Get back up. Okay. How? Hello? So if I try 100 times to get up and I fail 100 times, let me ask you, am I a failure? No. Then why do you sometimes think that you are? Because someone said so? Is that the truth? Thomas Edison, what did he make? The light bulb. Anyone know how many times he tried? A lot. 10,000 times. Someone came up to Thomas and said, hey, Thomas, how does it feel failing 9,999 times? He said, you know what? I never failed that many times. He said, now I know 9,999 ways in how not to make a light bulb. True or false? True. Don't ever, ever, ever give up. You can do it. You know, in my high school days, when I was 17, I would have to wait 1 hour after every day for my taxi to come pick me up. And the janitor saw me there, the guy who cleaned our toilets. His name's Arnold, 61-year-old man from India. And he looked at me one day and he said, you're going to be a speaker one day. And I'm like, dude, you're crazy. I never thought I'd be a speaker. I never thought that I'd ever have an opportunity to even communicate any sort of hope because I felt like I had none. And 9 years ago, when I was here in California speaking in front of 300 people, I saw a little boy being held up above the crowd, Daniel Martinez. And he was held up, 19-month-old little baby boy. And he had no arms, and he had no legs. And he had a little foot just like me. And I'm like, oh, man, that's like my mini-me. And so I got him up on stage, and I couldn't give him a high five, so I gave him a low 2. And when I did that and I gave him a hug, everyone cried. Why? Because it was a miracle. You know, when I was 10 years old and I was over here, I just wish that I met just one person like me. Imagine if a limbless speaker came to my school and told all my bullies to shut their mouth. That would have changed my life. At least I knew I wouldn't be alone. I never got that. So I told his mom, hey, when he goes to school, I'm going to come to his school, and if he's getting bullied, I'm going to go in my wheelchair, and I'm running him all over. She said, well, he's not going to school. I said, why not? Well, the doctor said he can't go to school. I said, why not? She said, I don't know. I said, look, just show those YouTube videos of mine to the principal and all the doctors, and he's going to be fine. Well, he went to school, and 3 years ago, I went to his school. I didn't run over anyone deliberately. And I went there and I spoke, and now he's like the coolest kid in the school. Now I have to sit him down and talk about humility a little bit. But I want you to know that that day changed my life. Can you imagine my parents? They never met any other parent who has a kid like me. And now I saw my mom hug little Daniel's mom. And I saw my dad hug his dad. Do you think that changed their life? Do you think that was a little bit of an exchange of hope? How can you get hope? Can you buy hope? Can you get a vaccination of hope? See, you can be healthy or sick, but still have hope. You can have arms and legs or no arms and legs and still have hope. You can be single or married and still have hope. Hope is everything. You can be rich, but feel like you have no hope. And I would rather be a poor man who never hurts anyone than a rich man who hurts someone. And I want you to know in your life you have to make your choices. And I want to ask you today for your trust. I've spoken in front of 600 schools, and I want to ask for you for your trust. I'm going to do something that has never been done in this school before. Because what I want to do in the next part, I want to talk about you, your school, right here, right now. What I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to do an anonymous survey. I want to ask you guys 4 questions. And I don't want your neighbor to know the answer. So this is the way I normally do it. I've been doing it for 2 years, and it's very effective. So do I have your trust? Do I have your trust? In a moment, I'm going to get you to bow your, in a moment, you're going to bow your heads, and then you're going to put one hand in the air. And your hand is going to be open. And as I ask any of the 4 questions, if your answer to these questions are a yes, I want you to simply put your hand in a fist. That way your neighbor does not know the answer. And I don't want anyone to know your answer. So I need your trust right now. I want you to bow your heads. Put one hand up in the air, please. Nice and high and open. And because I can't see your eyes, but I can only see your heads, I want you to at least bow your heads. And I'm going to wait till every single head here of 2,000 heads are going facing the floor. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Put your hand up nice and high, nice and open so I can see them. The first question, I'm only going to ask 4 questions. Here's the first question. Put your hand in a fist if you've actually thought of committing suicide. Go. No one's watching, so you can just put your hand in a fist if that's you. Open your hand. Put your hand in a fist if you've actually tried to commit suicide. Go. Open your hand. Put your hand in a fist if you've actually tried to commit suicide because of abuse at home. Go. Open your hand. Put your hand in a fist if you've actually tried to commit suicide because of bullying in this school. Go. Open your hand. Okay, you can bring up your heads and put your arms down. 2, 4, 6, 7. 6 by 20. Okay. Out of 2,000 students here, out of 2,000 students, 250 to 300 of you have actually thought of committing suicide. It's more than 10%. That means that guaranteed, if you look left, if you look right, one person for every 10 of you here have thought of committing suicide. In this audience of 2,000, 170 of you have actually tried to commit suicide. 170. 120 of you have actually tried to commit suicide because of abuse at home. Am I going to ring if I go past the speaker? Let's try it. Check, 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 check. I don't want to ring. I hate ringing. 170 of you have tried to commit suicide. 120 of you have actually tried to commit suicide because of abuse at home. And 50, everyone say 50. 50 in this school have tried to commit suicide because of bullying in this school. To me, that's 50 too many. Do you agree? Could it be that someone that you've gossiped about is actually one of those 50 who actually hate their life because of school? Not because of homework, not because of their grades, not because of anything else, not because of their parents, not because they have no money or they have this wrong with them or they got cancer or something. They don't have cancer and they're not trying to commit suicide because of cancer. They're trying to commit suicide because of the cancer of you. You are their cancer. And it's okay to be cool. And even still, about 8 of you in the top right corner, you're still talking and you're still being distracted by your friends. Can you hear me up there? Hi, guys. I know you're too cool for this speech, but I'm going to let you talk on any other minute of my speech except for the next 3 minutes. I just told you that there are 50 kids in this school, 50 teenagers, who hate their life because people spread gossip. And if you are talking while I'm talking now, the chances are someone you've gossiped about actually hate their life because of you. Simple fact. I've done 600 schools, and I'm not stupid. That's my brother. That's my sister. Someone here in this school has actually tried to end their life. What are you going to do about it? Is bullying good at all? No. Can you find something else to do? Yeah. Do we need to bully? If it was not harmful, I wouldn't be what I'm saying. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. If bullying had no effect on people's lives, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't waste my time. Wouldn't waste yours. I'm not here to waste your principal's time. I have 35,000 invitations for me to speak. Last year I did 26 countries, was on TV to 400 million people. I just spoke to the Mexican government 2 weeks ago. Many schools will never hear me speak face to face, and we are here because I want to make sure that my own school in my own backyard does everything that you can to love each other. And not, that's not corny, it's real. If you saw a kid crossing the street and a bus is coming for him, and he's 3 years old and his mommy and daddy are not there, and a bus is coming, and you know that if you actually help this kid and save his life, you actually will not get injured at all. You're quicker than that slow bus, but the driver of the bus doesn't see the kid. Will you save him? I hope so, because that's maybe your nephew. If it's not your nephew, he's my nephew. He's someone else's nephew. He's someone else's son. So HHS, you have a choice. to tear people down or build them up. If you don't want to build them up, that's fine, but please don't tear them down. I want to ask you today, did you ever think of it that way? And if you didn't, what will you do now? I got a letter. It's Mr. Hernandez, right? Oscar, right? I got a letter from a principal in Hawaii saying that after I spoke at the school, 8 months after that, not one report of one bully. Because what happened was 97% of the school said, you know what? I'm done. We're going to find something else to do. We're not going to tease anymore. If we see someone being teased, I'm not saying you to go punch someone in the head. I'm not saying to put your face in front of someone else's punch. But I'm saying that 97% of the school, when they saw someone who felt like they still had to hold the reputation because they're cool, and they've always been known to be the mean guys or the mean girls, so that they hold their reputation. You know what? 97% of the school actually felt sorry for those bullies. And if you continue to bully after this, I feel sorry for you. And I love you. And I want you all to understand that when you have an enemy, everyone say an enemy. Go. Say it again. Say it again. If you don't forgive your enemy, they don't care, but it helps you. I'm very, very concerned that 120 of you have actually tried to commit suicide because of abuse at home. You can't do this on your own. You need to tell a guidance counselor. You need to tell a teacher. You need to tell someone who can help you, because that is not healthy. We have local churches here who will help you in any way we can. We want you to know that we are here for you. We want to be listening ears to you. We believe in you. Some of you have a dream of being an entrepreneur. You can do it. Some of you want to be a doctor. You can do it. But I don't even care if you end up being the janitor of this school. Because no matter what you do as your occupation or how much money you have or not have, as long as who you are lines up with loving people, janitors change the world. It was not in the job description of my janitor to inspire me to travel around the world and speak to 1.2 billion people in the world and have a vision of teenagers, 400 million teenagers giving $1 a day. This is my 5-year vision from now. 400 million teenagers giving $1 a day to actually end world hunger. Why can't 400 million teenagers do that around the world? Those who have more than others can give to those who don't have as much. I was just in Mexico and I was given 100 acres of land for free to build a hospital and a school and an orphanage. We want to make a difference. Put your hand up if you want to make a difference in this world. Go. Put your hand down. Here's some wisdom. Everyone say wisdom. Don't believe that you actually want to change the world until you're ready to change the world that you live in now. Here. You can't change the world until you change America. And you can't change America until you change your school. But you have the potential. Have you heard of that little thing called Ebola? Anyone heard of that? Yeah, it's everywhere, right? That's what the news is talking. Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. Check this out. Ready? You guys have so much more power than you can imagine. The American government gave $213 million. The British government gave $203 million. And the Chinese government gave $97 million US towards the efforts against a worldwide threat. If 400 million of people your age gave $1 a day, what the governments gave on a red alert, you can give today if 400 million of you were coming together dreaming big. You can give that any day. 400 million people, $1 a day. Change doesn't happen with government, guys. Change happens with you. The law can't change everything, and money can't change everything. And maybe you have no money. And I love you still. If you have zero money to give to anyone, watch this. Anyone who is not generous with their words are never generous with their money anyway. Generous in forgiveness, generous in patience, generous in tolerance and respect. Some of you girls don't talk to each other and you don't even know why. Today, will you make a choice? A good choice. I want to ask you, who wants to try and dream big for this school, and the first thing that you guys tackle is bullying? You don't have to put your hand up, but is that you? How do you know if you're a bully? If 3 people think you're a bully, guess what? You're a bully. Very simple. It's not a textbook, it's my rule. Because it worked for me. I knew who the bullies were. So my question to you all now is, who in this school will make a stand against bullying and stand strong? Not just emotional decision, and not being discouraged if you see some other people bullying, but you will be the change in this school that you wish would happen. Some of you bully even your teachers sometimes. Some teachers you like, some teachers you don't like. Some students you like, some students you don't like. We're all going through something. Are we not all going through something? Yeah. So why continue to tear each other down? Today, HHS, stand to your feet if you want to say, you know what, I never thought of bullying that way, and I didn't know that it was that crucial. And I've accepted it before in my school, but from this day on, if I don't have anything nice to say, I'm not going to say anything at all. Today, if you want to make a difference in this school against bullying, I want you to stand to your feet now. Please sit down. I don't want you to stand up just because someone else stood up. I saw every single one of you stand up. And if you don't mean it, then don't stand up. One more time, HHS, if you today make a commitment to say, you know what, from now on, I'm going to close my mouth. I hear gossip, I don't spread it. I don't start it, I don't cyberbully. I don't do the stairs anymore. I don't judge anyone anymore. I will do my best to be self-controlled, respecting my neighbor as myself, and I will do my best to stop bullying in this school. At the chance that someone I tease actually hates their life because of that bullying, I don't want to be any part of bullying in my school anymore. If that is you, stand to your feet now. With the permission of the person standing next to you, give them a high five or give them a hug. Go. Everyone give yourself a round of applause. Repeat after me. Say, I today make a conscious decision to do what I can to love my neighbor as myself. I will do my best to stop bullying and to stop hurting people. I will try to do my best. So help me God. Good, you may be seated. Guys, I just want to tell you that I don't know how many of you see me on YouTube. Put your hand up if you see me on YouTube. Cool. Oh, a lot of you. Cool. Have you guys ever heard me like talk about God and stuff on YouTube? Put your hand up. Yeah, cool. Put your hand down. To me, God is a very, very important part of my life and my faith. My prayer with Jesus helps me every day, and I always take my Bible wherever I am. And I want you to know that a positive attitude for me was not enough. If I have a 13-year-old son who has cancer, a positive attitude is not enough. You know, some people say, well, all you need is the positive attitude. I feel like sometimes headbutting them in the face and saying, have a positive attitude, because it's not enough. But I am thankful that by faith, that I can actually be a miracle for someone else. And I want you to know that I'm not here to preach. I didn't talk about God this whole time. But we want you to know that I'm committed here in Oxnard, in Ventura County, Ventura City, to make a difference here in my own backyard. Big deal, I do 20 countries a year. What's the point of trying to change another country when I forget about my own backyard? So we're here for the long term. We want to help you. We want to dream with you. To your principal, Mr. Hernandez, and all your staff, faculty, we love you. We thank you for what you do. And I look forward to coming back one day, bring my wife and my son. But I want to tell you all, this is just the beginning for you and your journey. Don't listen to the lies. Come to the truth. Take one step at a time.
I don't know about you, but I got chill. Okay? And I promise you that I will be a better principal every day.
Oh.
We have to change. Some of us have more change than others. So starting today, I will try to do every single day to be a better principal. Not only that, but a better human being.
You're like the coolest principal I've ever met in my life. I love your principal. And I know you mean it. That's awesome.
Let's give Nick one more round of applause.
Thank you. Bye-bye.